Welcome to Field to Feast, where we profile Louisiana and its local ingredients. This morning we're at Circle M Farms in Franklinton, Louisiana. I have Yvette Bonanno with me. We're going to join Nathan Miller and head to the cheese room, after which we will make the perfect charcuterie board for your home party.
Field to Feast with Jennifer Finley is brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, beef, it's what's for dinner, and by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board, think rice.
Learn about Circle M.
So a friend of mine who bakes cakes with me over at the food incubator at LSU said you have to go out and see this goat cheese farmer. He's selling at the local farmers market, and it's taken some time for us to get out here and to connect. And when I called, he was like, please come out. I want to show you what we're doing.
I was in law enforcement for 11 and a half years, and we owned a landscaping company as well, and moved up here and got cows, and we're playing with pigs and some other things. And we were getting ready to have children, and I mentioned to my wife, let's get a couple goats, and just for our own homestead. And we kind of tossed it around a little bit and getting ready to start having children, and I decided to surprise her one day for our anniversary with 4 goats. And then now we have well over 100 and milking about 70 of them a day.
I wanted to check out some of the products that you have here. So can you tell me all about what we're seeing?
Well, I'll start with our base, and this is Chev. It is just a soft goat cheese. This is pretty much the basis for
that looks beautiful.
Everything that we do. We provide our restaurants and our chefs with our base model that they can then take and make their masterpieces with. There's a few things that we do and make our masterpieces with, but we provide them with basically a plain feta, a plain Chev, and a plain yogurt.
So they can layer those flavors on top.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. That's correct.
Do you name the goat before you get it, or do you learn the personality and then she gets her name?
A little bit of both. Some of our animals came with names if we got them off of other farms, but our dairy is Southern maids, and so we tend to stick with a lot of music, genres, artists, just different things from the South. And so you'll see names like the little one earlier, Daisy Duke. And we have, some Clementines.
I saw Georgia. And Lollipop.
So Georgia's her official name is Georgia on my mind, and then we have animals like Clementine.
You gotta have a Gladys
and
night.
Gladys,
you
right?
Have
we do
a
have
Gladys.
a Gladys. We do have a Gladys.
I need my picture taken with Gladys.
No problem at all. We then go to our feta. We do start with just a basic feta. We do some marinated versions of this as well, but this is feta in a brine.
Wow.
That we sell in slabs. We don't crumble it or anything else. We let the chefs kind of do what they want to do. So our next thing is our yogurt, and our yogurt is we use 5 different cultures for our yogurt.
So this is like breakfast.
Correct.
You could add some fresh blueberries, some fresh
honey,
strawberries,
correct.
some honey,
Some
and have
granola,
some
different. That's exactly right. Well,
last but not least,
I'll take us
I'm
to our
scared
cheesecake.
for you to open that.
Well, this is so we make this with cream cheese that we do here on our farm.
Looks delicious.
And our Chev, and we make them in 6 inches and 9s, and they are absolutely heavenly.
I mean, I feel like that could be breakfast.
Well, my children do eat it for breakfast, so they do.
And this is ground up from the beginning.
My wife and I have built this with blood, sweat, and tears.
And glad you did it?
Oh, extremely glad.
Next up, we're gonna head into the cheese room with my good friend, Chef Yvette Bonanno, and make the ultimate charcuterie board for your next party. So stay with us. Cheese room at Southern Maids Dairy, and we are about to make the ultimate charcuterie board with all of these fine fresh cheeses. Yvette, what do we have going on here?
I am so excited to try the cheese. Of course, presenting it on a cheese board and letting the cheese shine, in my opinion, is the most important thing about doing a charcuterie.
I have to tell you, I've been waiting to do this segment with you for about a year because my favorite thing in the world is to have appetizers, which instead of
I like
having
that.
lunch or dinner in the middle, dinner, you have appetizers. And the best way to do that is a charcuterie board, but it is an art form, and you have to teach all of us what that means.
Well, I think people are becoming more comfortable with the cheese selections. You go to your farmer's market or even your grocery stores, but they're seeing that a hard cheese, a soft cheese, a vein cheese, an aged cheese, a blue cheese, and just putting it all together to where it looks attractive. So we're gonna go ahead and put some of the goat cheese here on the board. And then I love the feta. I mean, this is decadent. I made some fig preserve
Of course you did.
using local figs from Lake Arthur with some local honey, some decoy Zinfandel wine, and some balsamic. So that'll go right next to it. We'll do some of our nuts next to this. Greek feta cheese. How about some honey next to that?
Love it.
We've got our olives that can go in. And then again, I did the pimento cheese, and we'll go ahead and put that right over here. This is Asiago with rosemary. This is a Gouda that's been soaked in Merlot wine. So that's gonna go on right there.
And a brie.
And a brie. So again, a brie is happy with fig and nut too. To this, we've got a little bit of salami and some capicola. I've got some apricots. Now we can just tuck those in
And the
right
fresh
here.
fruits.
We've got the fresh fruit, grapes, some strawberries.
When you're going and you're looking at all the cheeses that are available, it's important to like take a flight, like a flight of beers, a flight of cheeses in all the different flavor palettes. How do I know how to choose 5 different cheeses that will be different in flavor?
Well, and I'll tell you, this is what I do. I will go and I know I want a goat, I want a cheddar, I want a blue cheese or a soft brie. I want something hard like an Asiago. I love Robusta, the aged Goudas. And then I'll pick one that I don't know.
Okay.
And like, you know, the Midnight Goat is out right now. You know, Whole Foods, they have a wonderful selection. I always like to kind of go for the local because I know if I grab that, I've never had it before, and neither have my guests.
That to me is gonna make this board unique, different, and absolutely over the top.
So I've made these Lavash Crackers. It's just simply a lavash bread that you just put into the oven with a little bit of olive oil. And we can just kind of set that right
That
here.
makes you look terribly festive.
You know what? That's what we're going for.
You are festive.
That's what we're going for. And we can kind of go like this. And then I'm just thinking maybe some fresh figs over the top.
I feel like where fireworks are supposed to be going off somewhere. This is so fabulous.
And you can take something, again, that's local, looks absolutely gorgeous. You can tell the story of where it's coming from, and you can enjoy.
Thank you so much for
You're so
showing us
very
how to
welcome.
do this ultimate charcuterie board, especially using Southern Made Dairy fresh cheeses.
I cannot wait to dive into this.
I mean, I cannot wait. I don't know what I'm going for first. But thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Field to Feast. Right now, dig in. What's first?
Field to Feast with Jennifer Finley was brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, beef, it's what's for dinner, and by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board, think rice.